My mom spent her retirement on safaris and a new car. Now she expects me and my husband to pay her bills, while we are expecting our first baby. Disclaimer: English is not my first language, so sorry for any spelling and grammar mistakes. So for the sake of the story, let me introduce everyone involved. Me 26F, my husband 35M, my brother 28M and my mother 56F. My mother works for the government in the country she lives in. It is a developing country with around 3 million people living there, and that means she is required to retire by the age of 60. She has no savings at all. Her retirement plan is selling her house to my brother and moving into a retirement village. The thing is, my brother lives in a different country, and he is only 2 years into working, which means he is still building up his own saving. He doesn't have the money to buy the house, and he does not plan on moving back to our home country. So even if he could afford the house in 4 years' time, it will not be a good investment for him. My mother sees me as her little girl and still treats me as such. I have been working and supporting myself since I was 21 and now live in a different country with my husband. As a result of my mother's view on me, she demands to talk to my husband about any financial decisions instead of me. I have tried bringing this up to her multiple times, but she refuses to have serious conversations with me. Last week I called her. We do family phone calls every Sunday to stay in touch with our parents, and made sure to put her on speakerphone so my husband can listen in on the call. I casually asked if she has any savings that can help her during retirement, and she went on a tangent about how my brother will not might buy the house from her and she will move into a retirement home. My husband frowned at this. I then asked her what her backup plan is, and she proceeded to say, "You guys can just help pay for the apartment or buy the house if your brother does not want to or can't." Here's the thing. We just bought a house a year ago. We have no plans on moving back to my home country, and we are currently pregnant with our first child. When I ended the call, my husband looked concerned. He told me he has no plans to support my mother. And to be honest, neither do I. My whole life I grew up in a household where my mother kept going on about how she will not be responsible for my grandparents and they need to look after themselves. As a result, I never made plans to look after her. We have a growing family to think about, and we don't have the capacity to look after my mother. Now for some additional context. My father passed away suddenly when I was 18 and finishing up high school. As a result, both me and my brother's college education fell on my mom. I only studied for a year and a half and then started working and helping my mom out with groceries each month, since I wasn't earning a lot at the time, and she was still paying for my brother's education. He studied for 7 years and would constantly ask my mom for extra spending money to go to concerts, friends' weddings, or just parties. So while my mother and I struggled to get by every month, my brother was living the college dream, studying and partying. When he finished, he moved back home with my mom and I moved in with my husband. He started working and helped my mom financially with any maintenance issues in and around the house. So in theory, my mother has had 6 years to save up for retirement. But instead she went on safaris with family and friends and recently bought a brand new car again. Multiple people advising her against it. Even if she started saving today, she will not be able to save up enough money to live off of during retirement. My husband has called my brother, and we are going to set up a family meeting to discuss this with my mother, including her spending habits and her retirement plan. My husband said he wants to tell my mom that we do not have the capacity to look after her and our growing family, and neither does my brother, so she might have to get a different job after she retires. Any thoughts? Are we being holes, or is this a valid concern? Any advice on how to approach the subject with my mom without pissing her off would be highly appreciated. I know the post might be a little confusing. I am just overwhelmed and don't know what to do. I will try to answer as many questions as possible.